Good Monday morning, everybody in the Service Alliance community. We're back.
Is it Tuesday?
I feel like,
It's Tuesday, right? No, I'm just kidding.
Tuesday. Yeah. I'll tell you, it feels like it's been a long weekend, but for the wrong reasons. My wife filled our schedules for the whole weekend, and I'm exhausted. I'm ready for a weekend.
Do you get a lot of snow every year where you're at? Like, is it you kind of hunker down and like, do more movie nights and stuff where you live in San Juan? Where do you live again? San Juan?
San Juan? Me?
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're in Lexington. So is it like cold, bitter winter snow like Zach in Chicago? And
no, it ain't like that. But we get all 4 seasons, and we'll get a couple big snows. But what we call big snow is like 4 to 12 inches.
So does that mean in the wintertime you try to stay home more, or unless you're a big snow person and you like to ski? Is that how that works in Lexington?
Yeah. I mean, you stay inside.
So your wife's just packing it all in. Yeah. No, I know, but your wife's filling in the weekends. Yeah. That's what women do. It's a beautiful thing. We have memories thanks to our wives, right?
That's true. If it was up to me, we'd just go to ball games and stuff.
Yeah.
Everybody would remember that.
Here's your hot dog. Here's your beer. Yep. That's it.
We got some folks checking in. Gasper, what's going on, brother?
Yeah.
We're using the Bible you gave me today. Nice. Thank you. Joe, what's going on? Good morning. Oh, they just popped in here. Rob, what's going on, Rob? Rob wakes up early to watch us. Or maybe he wakes up early to ride his bike in the cold and also watches us.
Yeah, we're a side effect.
I don't think anybody wakes up just to watch us.
No.
Alex, great morning. Kelly
Alex
from Kentucky. Kelly, do you hunker down for the winter, as Doug is suggesting, from Connecticut?
We don't hunker. Yeah.
You don't hunker?
No, hunker. I think that's on the Beverly Hillbillies show. You'd hunker down. I want to be you guys. I'm moving. That's it.
I got a spot for you.
Rob's got some training in New Jersey.
Oh, man.
And if he was a real friend, because on the map, New Jersey and Connecticut are really close, he would just come visit me after, but I bet he won't.
We'll see.
So we'll see.
Time will tell.
Yeah.
No pressure. So we went to Kings Island for the Halloween Haunt edition of the theme park. Kelly definitely hunkers down.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, heck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I'm translating there. I gotta put the accent in there.
Yeah.
Only hunkering we do in Texas is for tornadoes.
There you go.
See, I gotta accentuate it for the accent so you understand what people are saying. Rob don't really have that accent though.
No, he doesn't.
So
your wife loves the amusement parks, huh? Or Halloween. She loves Halloween.
She loves Halloween. So this is one place we went that has haunted houses all over. So instead of going to one haunted house, you pay 10 times more and go to 4 of them and do it all day long. It's great fun.
Yeah.
Lots of memories.
That's right.
All right. Gasper's wanting to know what's the weather like in San Antonio in February. He's packing his bags already. He's got his tickets bought. His hotel is booked.
Yep.
What's he going to wear?
Yeah.
I don't think Speedos are in February, Gasper, but probably shorts. I hope.
Please. Yeah.
Saul, good morning. Good morning. Well, we're getting a lot of people checking in. In Georgia, we hunker down, dogs.
They don't have pictures.
They got a faster connection, I think. A true friend would meet halfway in New York.
Oh.
I think he's offering to pay if you do.
Well, I'm going to be there, but during the day today. So, gosh, that just means the Holy Spirit doesn't want us there together this time, Rob.
Could be 20 degrees or 90 degrees, Gasper. Pack for everything. Good morning from Tennessee. Who is that? Donnie Paul. What's going on? So, man, we got lots of people checking in. I don't even know where we're going yet. If you haven't noticed, we're going to do a shout out to Zach Ryder. Today, we have the host with the least equipment malfunction. I'm simply sitting at my desk looking at my cell phone. Doug, what are you doing?
Yeah, I can't even get my AirPods to work, so I'm going completely naked with the laptop. That's it. Is there any cracking?
Hear and see us well enough.
Yeah.
We love you, Zach, and all of your equipment.
Yeah.
You are the best.
Oh, that's fun.
All right. So what are we gonna do today, Doug?
Well, what's on my mind lately is when seems like when it slows it just a tiny bit, you want to make sure you get every single call. So the idea of when that customer reaches out to us, that we nail it, that we win them over, that we start out with our best foot forward with first contact and first impressions. So I think that's a great place to talk, right?
Oh yeah. Who do you think Saul's talking about? I think he's talking about Costanzo.
Doug was hanging out last week with the guy that knows you.
No, he was hanging out with somebody that knows you.
Oh, wow.
He's talking to you.
It must be a Marcone guy, maybe. I don't know. Mike Wilshire.
It might be Costanzo.
Oh, I love David. He's amazing. Yeah.
All right. Safe travels, Rob.
Yeah. Thank you, Rob.
Let's see you. Morning, Adam, as well. Yeah. First impressions is one of the biggest things for me. I love this. And initially, it's what I built my business on. And the professionalism has grown.
Yep.
Because when I started, I didn't really have it all figured out. Mike is correct. Mike W. Who's Mike W?
Oh, Mike Wilshire. Yeah. That's an amazing guy, Saul. Mike was my rep when he was in a different level, lower level of the company. That guy would take care of us. Like actually, Saul, it sounds like you, because I get so much praise about how great you are for customer service. And when you work for a giant company like Walmart, to have a small little, one person in his lane going above and beyond is really hard to do. And so I think you guys are probably cut from the same cloth, Saul, because Mike was a guy that made everything happen for us all the time. It was amazing. So, yep.
All right. Saul's definitely that guy.
He is.
I met him in Florida, and he's pretty much my rep now. He hasn't come to visit me yet, like he does everybody else. But come on, Saul. Saul, by the way, we have Marcone training on the 18th of this month in Louisville. It's a business trip. I'll be there. A good friend would just show up and see his people in Lexington. So I started out, I just wanted to be the company that took care of people, did it the right way. I wanted to be professional, but also courteous and, hometowny, right? We're in the country, so, I'm in an area where, you look at man in the eye and shake his hand, it means something still. If you say you're going to be there, you be there, and you charge a fair price, and you do a good job, and you stand behind it. And there's not I don't want to bash anybody, as I ain't bashing nobody, but it felt like that was lacking in the area that I was in. And I'm not talking about Lexington. I didn't start in Lexington area. I had to grow towards Lexington. And I figured that was what I was going to be known for, was doing it the right way and trust, right? And first impression is huge. Like, until you build that reputation, somehow you have to portray trust and the first impression and genuineness. And that was a struggle for me. I didn't know how to do this stuff. I didn't have a website. I had a Facebook page and a business card. My first business card, I used the generic Vistaprint wood grain background, and it had a water drop with a lightning bolt in it. And it was just the generic one they had.
Oh, I got it. Wow. All right. No judging. No, that was not a judging. That was a cute, like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's judging. And I didn't do refrigerator, so refrigerator wasn't on my card. But I knew that I had to have something to represent myself. And that's evolved. So
you have a copy of your original one? Do you still have a copy of your original one?
Gosh, I do somewhere. I do.
Just don't lose it. It's going to be fun to have in the EJ Museum in 25 years. We want to see the progression.
I do have a cork board downstairs in my hallway that used to lead to my other office, and I've got thumbtacked in each variation of my magnet or my business card, and then on my man cave fridge, I have each of my magnets lined across. Yeah. And anybody else's magnet that wants to send me one, I'd love to collect appliance repair business magnets. So if you want to send me a magnet, hit me up on Messenger and I'll give you an address.
That's great.
I'd love to have it. I have 3 so far.
Well, let me just piggyback on what you were saying. Where you live, it's still important to look someone in the eye and shake their hand. I think that wherever you live, even if you don't want to get COVID up here in Connecticut, so we don't shake hands or we don't say hello to each other as strangers, as long as we are in an industry that are sending strangers into people's homes, I think first impressions are super important. That there's, until we can get an AI robot to go in and do the service call, someone needs to feel comfortable knowing that this person that they never met is coming in their house. So it's going to be relevant for a long time, I think,
Absolutely. Why don't we get her started up? We're 15 minutes in now, and we've got a whole 11 people watching.
Yeah.
A little more than that, but we'll pray. You want to or me?
Go for
it. Doug, we always ask you. You tired of it?
I don't know. I don't mind doing it, but I love when you pray, my friend.
Lord God, our Heavenly Father, we thank you. We thank you for this day, Monday, as we begrudgingly get up and start our week. We thank you that you've allowed us to. You've given us something to do. We get up with a purpose each Monday morning, Lord. Lord, we ask you to be with everyone out there today. Let them have positive interactions. Lord, let's keep them safe and away from danger. Put the hedge about them. We'll keep all of the evil away and any dangers. Lord, we ask you to let your love come through each and every one of us so that the people we come into contact with will see you through us. If they see good in us, they see you, Lord. We ask all of this in your Son, Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
All right. I hate this. I keep on this screen over here. The live Facebook feed, and it's got a delay. Yeah. And every time I get up, I can see my head bent down. And I don't like the way it looks. But sorry, everybody. If you don't like the way it looks either, just bow your head too.
Yeah. There you go.
Facebook user, this is Omar. I'm not seeing Omar on here before. His first impressions can distinguish you from your competition. Your competitors is key. That's correct. Kelly, I'm struggling with one of my techs being a slob. He was part of the package I inherited. She inherited a tech.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of other people dealing with that too. And man, what you got, Doug? You got anything for that?
Well, I'll tell you that the big important word there was inherited. So that means that you, Kelly, have a bit of work to do. That's going to be coupled with a lot of grace, because I think we owe it to that person to say, hey, welcome aboard to the new ship, even, and now I want to show you what our vision is and what our company culture is and how important it is that you really look impressive for our customers. And yeah, you're going to have to be patient, in my opinion, patient and graceful, targeting a couple things at a time. And gosh, and then, when your soul says, I've done everything I can to transform this guy into the vision that, the culture that we want, if it isn't going to work out, then you did everything you could. That's what I always worry about. Did I do everything I could to save that employee? Right. And it can be tiresome, but especially when you inherit someone, you owe it to them to help them. It takes a while to break bad habits, and it's unlikely you're going to clean them up. Slobs are slobs for life. Speaking right here. So
yeah, I don't think they'll actually turn around and be the best appearing, but a dress code policy is a good start. And you don't single out anybody initially. You make it generalized for everybody. Share it with the team and keep up with it. But like you said, Doug, with the accountability, have you done what you're supposed to do to properly make sure that it's done? And, we all have struggles in this area, in different topics. This is just another one of those topics. You have to set up the accountability.
Yeah.
There has to be something that they're violating in order for you to say this is a problem. Otherwise, it's just your opinion.
I would think if your plan is to grow a bit at all or be around for the next 30 years, he won't be your last slob. And so you've got to set up a process. Maybe currently you're having them buy their own pants and somebody comes in with holy pants. Well, unless you buy them pants, it's going to be they're going to give you all kinds of reasons why they can't afford it or whatever. And so it's your responsibility to, if you want that to be the case, you got to make it happen. It's expensive sometimes, but you got to think about the future. You got to think about the next slob that comes in,
All right. What we do here, if you've not been around, is we do Bible and business. And we don't get too hung up on the Bible side. If that's not your thing, don't worry about it. The intention is positivity, and love God, love your others, love His people, love your customers, everybody you come in contact with. Spread that positivity, right? We pray. We pray for people. Can you hear my dogs? Yeah. My wife just got home from taking the kids to school. The little yappers. Sorry.
That's okay.
So, and then we also talk a little bit of scripture. So we try to talk about real service business issues, solving them with biblical principles and love and positivity. So, scripture for today, Proverbs 17:22. Just start your Monday out. Proverbs 17:22. A merry heart does good, like medicine, but a broken spirit dries the bones. So start your week with a merry heart, grateful and thankful and happy that you're awake and working on a Monday.
Amen.
It's not, oh God, it's Monday. Thank God it's Monday.
Yeah.
Hey, I get to go out and have a purpose and do something.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Got a couple comments here. Kelly says, my dad, when he was alive, sat a bar of soap and a stick of deodorant in front of him one morning. He still didn't get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Joe says, I had a customer that was looking up the part. I was selling her on eBay and comparing my price to eBay's price. What do you do in that situation? I've had that. I actually talked about that on the interview I did with Derek Dennis. It's not aired yet, but I had a customer call and complain that we charged her mother-in-law so much money to fix her dryer that she approved and paid. And she said, we can get that part for way cheaper. And I said, I understand. It was the Samsung dryer element. I said, I understand. You're seeing the one on Amazon. It's $30. I said, I get it. That's the heater. What we sell is the heater assembly, which comes with the thermostat and the high limit. You're getting 3 parts, and it's OEM, and we guarantee it.
Yeah.
Turns out, like a month later, it failed, and she quickly assumed and went on the offense. Well, that part that you said was guaranteed, well, it only lasted a month.
Right.
Turns out she had a bad dryer vent was clogged up. But I was like, okay, what do you want us to do? So, well, I want you to fix it. That's what we do. That's what the guarantee means.
Yeah.
We come out and fix it. And we did. It wasn't the element or anything. It was the dryer vent. We should have caught the dryer vent. Did I freeze?
You did a little bit,
for
but
a second.
Yeah, no, you're doing fine. Okay. Well, you're definitely stuck. So, one of the things I think about when we say first impressions is you're back. Move your face. Yeah, all right, you're back now. First impressions is still going on with this lady a month later, don't you think? Because she came in jaded. She came in assuming things. You had a good conversation with her. You must have put her mind at ease because your reviews are still at 4.9 or 5 or whatever. So you're all set there. But a month later, something went wrong. That's still part of that beginning of a relationship with customers, and how you handled it was great as well, right? Saying, yeah, that's the guarantee I was talking about. And you took care of it for them, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. She actually apologized on text after. Said, sorry for the way I acted. I was like, it's all right. We definitely honor our guarantees.
And you know something, EJ? Over the years, I've chatted with people or texted with guys that said I've never had many customers apologize after when I was right. And to me, it's really all on you, because you got to leave that space for that to happen, right? We have to go in this as humble and as patient as possible to leave them room to take ownership later. Because if you slap them around and you're really mean, they're never gonna acknowledge it, right? So
yeah, and most people. How do I want to say this? Most people ain't going to respond well to "See, I told you so." Yeah. And the ones that you really want to say it to, they're really not going to respond well. The ones that got all the attitude and the foul language and they're yelling, and then they're wrong.
Yeah.
You really don't want to rub that one in. What I kind of do is I'm kind of good about sliding in something. It maybe cuts a little bit, but you're not really sure if I meant to. But for most people, it's just if you want to show that you're right, just call your buddy and tell them the story. Mm-hmm. Share the message. Be right with them. It's a little bit of I don't know what's that word where you don't have to be right. Like, and I'm that guy. Exactly. Naturally, my natural behavior is I want you to know I'm right. But I also want you to know that you was wrong and I was right. And I've not been like that as much in the last few years. I'm still working on that. Owning a business has changed because I'm so vulnerable to whatever. Yes. There's so many more of them than there are me. And all of the rules and regulations and laws favor them more than
they don't apply to you. Yeah, that's right. So, well, I mean, if you're people of action, you probably don't want to hear this, because I don't say much anymore, but I said it for a million years. If it feels good to say in the time of conflict with anybody, customer, your wife, a stranger in the supermarket line, if you say something that makes you feel good inside, it's probably the wrong thing to say, because it's not going to get you to the compromise that you need to have the place of peace, the place of complete acceptance on both sides. So part of your soul might die a little bit, but it'll come back to life in heaven. So you have to believe in heaven, I think, to find that grace. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad you're still able to come up with some sneaky ways to get it in, EJ, but you're going to get caught once in a while with that one. But ultimately, you don't need to be right. It's not about that. So sometimes guys people have shared with me, you apologize for things that you don't need to apologize for. So a customer like that woman who's calling on behalf of her mom or aunt or whoever it was, she has good intentions in the heart. She doesn't know what she's talking about, but she is upset. and she believes she did some research and she believes that you've overcharged her. You have an opportunity to show her your authentic company, culture, that this is what it takes to do it. And I promise you, I'll be there if anything goes wrong. And if she accepts it or doesn't accept it, it doesn't matter. That's all you have to do in that moment, right? And
right.
if you weren't the person you were, EJ, you could have ghosted the lady. You could have said something like, well, that's your dryer vent. That's something different, and charge her full price to clean the dryer vent out on top of that and say, hey, it's a different problem. Sorry. You didn't appreciate my warranty. I'm not going to give you any warranty because it doesn't really apply here. But that you're full of grace. Yeah. So it's exhausting.
So you guys see me on here, and I'll tell you, this is a work of progress, a work of effort. The natural EJ, it's not so full of grace. And this ain't a show. This is who I have become.
Yeah.
But it's not a light switch. I've had to develop. It's like my natural. I just want to just get on their level and go toe to toe, and it doesn't end well that way. If you're doing it that way, I promise it's not working for you. If it is, you're not doing it right. if you're not doing it that way long enough, it will fail. So yeah, I got another 1-star review. And this was a guy that wrote a 1-star review on me while I was in Hollywood, Florida at the TMM Academics Sealed System Training. And I didn't respond. Like I really like responding to these. Because that's where I get that little jab.
Yeah.
And like where you show your side, you're not really responding to that person. You're responding to all the other people that read it. This one, it just stuck with me. Like, I'm not going to do it right. So I haven't answered it yet. And this was September, or was it August? Middle of August. All of a sudden last night at about 10 o'clock, he re-upped his 1-star review again. Like we've had no interaction for all that time.
What did you mean? Like he responded again in his review or updated it?
Yeah. So like if somebody gives you a review, whatever it is, and then they give you another one, it pretty much renews the other one and brings it back to the top.
Oh, okay.
I think it counts as another review, but you don't see it as multiple reviews.
I got you.
So we dropped down to a 4.9 again. Okay, I'm all right with that. He took out some of the other stuff that, like he said, I needed to stick to fixing lawnmowers. I'm probably better suited for that. And little does he know, I'm not a mechanic.
Yeah.
I can't fix my lawnmower either. So he said that I charged him to fix something. I didn't fix it, didn't even touch it, but still charged him. And that's all incorrect. I went and he had a Miele fridge that I hadn't seen before. I was there for probably 30, 45 minutes with tech support. Everything worked on it, but the temperatures weren't right. So the tech support told me it's probably a sealed system problem. Go from there, right? So I said, look, this thing's less than 5 years old. It's probably under warranty. Call my buddy over at Mr. Appliance. They're certified, and they'll take care of it. If I do it, it's going to be really expensive. If they do it, you might get it for free, right? We sat and chatted for 30 minutes, right? And this was back in like June or July. So in August, he sends this review saying, well, any dummy that with a tool bag could realize that the fan wasn't working. And, this guy's an idiot, right? And I had to call another person, but he called me back. The fan wasn't fixed. Like, whoever this other person was didn't fix the fan either.
Oh,
if there was another person.
Yeah.
Right. And they called us and they wanted us to come back out. And I said, look, just call these other people. They'll take care of you.
Yeah.
Well, he tells my CSR at my office help to tell EJ to go F himself. And then about 10 minutes later, I got the review bashing me to pieces. I'm like, I gave him good advice.
Yeah.
I charged the service charge, but I was there for an hour.
Right.
45 minutes of it was working on it, looking into it with the tech support, and the other was talking to him. Pleasant conversation.
Sure.
And now 3 months later, he's still mad about it. Like, really?
Yeah.
Like, now what? Like, I want to call him, but
you want to hear some sad news, EJ?
Yeah.
You're gonna get this same type of thing again from a different customer. It's a kind of it's not a real common one, but it really does come over the years. You'll see this type of person, and you understand what he's struggling with, right? That he paid you a service fee, and you didn't fix it. So I've tried all kinds of ways over the years to deal with this one, and I try to put myself in that customer's shoes. It's tough when they're not reasonable people. Like, I don't know, did you get red flags when you were talking to him that he was a customer that made a bunch of assumptions, that was, even accusing you of being a type of, he was really nice the whole time?
No, the only red flag was he was from Detroit and just moved to Kentucky. Nothing wrong with Detroit, but
right.
It's north.
Yeah.
It's above the Mason-Dixon, above the Ohio River.
Right.
People are different up there.
Wait a minute, I think I am.
Yeah, you
Hold
are.
on. What the heck? All right, I hear you.
You count.
Yankees.
You count, but you're different than those people.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right, man. I mean, we look for that, and if we catch those flags before we get there or while we're there, heck, I'll walk away and not even charge the service fee. I don't care.
Yeah, when you get the vibe and it's going to be that person, but with no red flags, that is a super challenging situation because you have no idea, and it doesn't sound like you've made it too personal yet. It's not too personal, right?
Nah, it's kind of humorous, but like, I'm not mad that he gave me a 1-star review. Like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not mad that I dropped from a 5 to a 4.9.
Right.
It's more like, what? That?
How much is your service fee, EJ?
89.
All right.
And the guy's living in a $2 million house, by the way.
So here's my suggestion. Not that we're in fix-it mode here, right? But again, he's never called you before, so this still falls under this category today of first impressions. Like,
right.
I don't know this guy from EJ's Appliance, but and we still don't even know who diagnosed the fan, right? Could be some HVAC friend who came in, because what we've done over the years is said, I'll tell you what we can do. We can't guarantee our diagnosis, all right? But we can warranty it. So we can come back out and double check it maybe once and to confirm it. But if you find someone else that diagnoses it differently and you have it repaired by them, I will give you your service feedback. And you wouldn't believe how many people don't want to do that. They just want to sit in their stink and complain about us. But are you planning to buy a new refrigerator, a new Miele? No. All right, get it fixed. Send me the receipt. And you'll see some crazy receipts, Joe the handyman, and then it says, $72. And you're like, well, break it down. Show me what was done there, but offer something you should reply to it as an EJ. Channel your inner self, because I know you'd love to make the guy happy. And again, the other thing that I've learned is always put a quote for everything that you've diagnosed, even if you're not planning to do it, because your receipt will say found everything working okay at this time, spoke to tech support. They believe it might be a sealed system repair, quoted $1,500 to whatever, $2,000 for repair. Yeah. And then customer declined repair at this time. Right? You didn't. Right. What did you do wrong there? What'd you do wrong there? You didn't. So.
Yeah. Anyway. I don't actually want to make him happy.
What? No, you're an idol of mine. Don't say that. Rewind.
I'll make him cry, but that's why that's the work in progress. Everybody.
Yeah, I know. Thanks for being real. For being raw.
I won't respond until I'm ready to try to make him happy, or at least
I respect DJ.
Yeah, Alex, that's a good one. Give him 50% off his next service call. Yeah.
He might call you.
Give you a free service call. Yeah. But then when he calls him, get him the like when I was in school, we'd say, "You want to talk to DT? Dial tone?" You hang up on him. Like, you don't get the dial tone anymore. That's so fun to take that away from us.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
40 minutes in. First impressions. Let's get on the positive side, right? This is Monday. We're having fun, though.
Yeah.
So, I did a presentation a couple times about building likability and trust in order to close more sales. And it's not really to close the sales, although that is a result, right? It just catches your attention. Yeah. See, I don't think this helps. I don't think he wants a refund. But yeah.
That's what he said. See what he does. See, it's a science experiment, EJ.
Yeah. I like experiments. Even if it costs me $89.45. So what kind of things do you do to build likability and trust in your first impression? And I'll tell you, the most common perception of what the first impression is when you knock on the door and they see you. Smarter people that think a little bit deeper will say it's when they call you and you answer the phone. Mm-hmm. But it's even farther back than that, right, Doug?
It is. Yeah.
How do they find your phone number?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Where did they find you at? So your appearance online, your reputation when their friend tells them about you. Maybe you're still in the yellow pages in the phone book, or your newspaper ads. Maybe you got a commercial on TV. Doug, you got a couple great ones. Where are they finding you? The first interaction where they first find out about your business. That's the first impression. That impression is what leads them to say, yeah, I'm going to call this person. Yeah. Or absolutely not. Or maybe they just don't even notice you.
Right.
They say, oh, like this. Sounds like a good name. Okay.
Yeah.
This one's real shiny. And then they go look at that one and they call action. And say, wow, they got a really cool commercial. They sound like they know what they're doing. Right. And you picked your best looking tech to put in the commercial too, right?
That was a model.
You paid a paid actor?
Yeah, we paid an actor. Yeah.
Wow. All right. See, that's false advertisement, but
no, man, that's another next Monday. We'll talk about that. All right.
So, website, your ads, your reputation, your reviews.
Yeah.
All right. Now I'm sitting with a 4.9 and 472 reviews in this GMB. And
sounds good to me.
The very top one is a 1-star.
Yeah. You better respond, EJ. It's
That's
your chance.
First impression.
Yeah, respond and take the high road, EJ. You're selling it to yourself right now.
I'm not ready yet.
Okay, I respect that. Well, how about if the website of the business, stated quick and friendly, and you call and they're not really friendly but professional, and you say, "Hey, I need service right away. I can't get to you till next Friday." That's legitimate business, or this Friday. That's legitimate business challenges when we're in a busy season. But if your advertisement says quick and friendly, and then I'm going, "Are you kidding me? Friday is quick?" And you heard that 1 million times because the owner put that in the website, and you're like, "Well, whatever," and now you're not even friendly at all. Well, that's the impression that the customer is going to get. So be careful on what you promise. Be careful on what you say, because we've all been customers since we were teenagers, where you kind of laugh when you're young, when you see a false promise and you're literally getting the opposite of it, right? It's hilarious. But when your washer is flooding the basement or whatever, it's not funny, and it's rude. And so you're going to be judged by what you put in your website. Yeah.
That's a really good point, man. You're setting the expectations.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of the direction I was wanting to go to, is continuing with each interaction, right?
Yeah.
So if you catch their attention because you have a low service charge, or a free service charge, or we're going to be there within 24 hours, guaranteed, customer satisfaction, you're setting yourself up. Now, you may be able to deliver most of the time, and then there's going to be the ones that ain't happy. And how do you respond, right? So if when you're setting the expectation, like I like to under promise and over deliver.
Yes.
And some people try so much to over promise to get your attention, and come here, and then you're trying to salvage it as you go, because they're let down, they're disappointed from every step of the way. Like I thought about guaranteeing, you're going to talk to a person when you call, right? When I first started, one of the most common comments we had, because we were slow and small, my wife answered the phones. You answered the phone. I called 6 other places and I got messages. You guys answered, and I'm talking to a person. Okay, good. I didn't advertise that because I can't promise that, right? So my thought is, present yourself professionally, and genuine. Yeah, like, we care, right? You don't make the promise, but you have that thing that you focus on. That, hey, we're going to take care of you. We're here. One of the things we say is we want to be your forever appliance repair company, because you trust us. We do what we say we're going to do. We're there when we say we're going to be there, and we come back. We guarantee it. I can guarantee 100% that if you have problems, I'm going to come back, or I'm going to answer it. Except for that guy. That guy I'm not coming back to. But
if you can make sure that your mindset is in the right place, you're going to filter everything in a different way. So, for instance, if you're promising fast, quick service, you better make sure that those who are answering your phone, at some point, start with an apology and then a quick story. Hey, when it gets really hot in July and August, we are so busy, and it really frustrates us because we strive to be out within 24 hours. And so we hope that you can accept our best effort. That needs to be part of your script because you have promised something that's going to be really hard at a small period of time of the year, and so you could make that promise. Just make sure that your people know that promise is out there and that you're taking ownership of it. Action's we got a bunch of them, to be honest with you, it's always our fault. It's my fault. If a customer gets an impression of something that we said and we didn't mean to say it that way, I have to say, will that happen again? Could that happen again? I think it can. Then I think it's worth making a change. Or, it may only happen 3 times a year. I'll deal with it when it happens. So how about this? Do you get, EJ, down in Lexington where you're all laid back and chewing on some tobacco and, you guys got a clothesline, so it's not a big deal when the dryer breaks. But sometimes people will call us and go, I went online, or I know that it's a bad heat element in my dryer. Do you have that on the truck? Can you make sure it's on the truck? Well, I have 16 trucks and I have a specific truck stock list, and I don't have someone to look up the model and, pre-screen it. And so we're not going to do it. So we have sort of a scripted answer that we have fully stocked vans. We have a software program that helps calculate the most commonly used parts. The good news is if it's not on the truck, we will direct ship it to your house as soon as possible and get back out there, and there's no extra charge. You know something? That is not that's not the answer to everybody who's calling in asking. It's falling short. And I know that there's customers that are disappointed. And I'm not always sure that my technicians remember that the CSR, that question was asked and that the CSR responded with this. We've got, this many parts on the truck and we try our best. They might be going, I don't have that one. We don't keep that one. No, like, what's wrong with you, lady? You can't keep everything on the truck, right? That's their response, and it's an honest response. So will it come in quickly? Yeah, we'll ship it to your house. It's 2 to 10 business days because he's reading his script. Well, that's not quickly if it shows up in 10 days, So I know we all have to be inward reflective and recognize it's always our fault. And should we continue to tweak and change things to try to take care of the most people as we can? It's exhausting, right, buddy?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. This whole conversation's wearing me out. It's the weight of it, right? Because once you say something, that's your promise. Whether you promised, did you pinky swear? That's what my 10-year-old's like. Pinky swear. Promise. So if you say it, it's a promise.
Yeah.
If it comes out of your mouth, well, so-and-so said it.
That's right.
That means something, right?
Yeah.
And man, how you say stuff, and hearing you say 16 trucks, like I know that already, but hearing you say it, well, I got to see if that truck out of 16 of them has that heating element, and it might not even be the heating element, but if you better have it.
Yeah.
Are you going to have it?
That's right.
And you said, yes, I have fully stocked trucks.
Yeah.
I would maybe take fully out of that.
Yeah. I agree, EJ. Yeah.
All of our vans are stocked with the most commonly used parts.
Mm-hmm.
We have the best chance possible to fix it on the first try.
Yeah.
It's like completely under promise.
Yes.
Like we're as prepared as we can be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To fix it on first try. You know what they heard though?
Fully.
Even though that what they heard of what I said, even.
Oh yeah.
Well, this is a fully stocked truck and we can fix it in the first try.
That's right.
That's the promise they heard, and I didn't say
That's it. That's right.
It's their perception of it all. So that,
but when you and I, if you and I answered the phone because we were in the office and they called and we would go off script. It's like, what brand is it? Oh, is that the one with the filter in the door? Yeah. No, we got that heater on the truck. they're like, wow, this EJ's appliance is amazing. I got the guy on the phone, and you might be the guy going out. Who knows? And that makes it special. So what happens when you grow and when you have to trust in other people on your team, you need to set them up for success. And it's always going to be the guy at the top's fault if it doesn't go well. So I love the under promise thing. I know you've said that a million times, EJ. It's really critical and important,
Yeah. Dirty Bong, what's up? Thanks for checking in. He says, why would you bring a part without looking at it? Why don't you have the part for this unit? You haven't looked at it. I gotta love it. Yeah. So, and that's the thing. And Doug's talking about the script. I'm picking apart the script.
Yeah.
But the point is, you have to have an answer.
Yeah.
And most of the time, your answer is going to be wrong to some people, no matter how you say it. You could say we have fully stocked trucks, or you can say I don't carry parts. We'll see. I'm gonna check it out first, and then we can come back. Whatever it is, it's going to be wrong to some people, but have an answer to sound professional and do the best you can to follow up at it. Sometimes when it's me going off script, like Doug said, I'll say something like that. Well, there's so many things that it could be that ain't the heating element. We really got to check it out. But she don't care what the other things is. She knows it's the heating element because Derek on YouTube said it's the heating element, and here's how you fix it. Even though her dryer don't look like the one he's doing, and it's not the exact problem. YouTube said it's the heating element.
Yeah.
And they have the part number there, and Amazon has it. Why don't you have it? All right.
But fair to it though, EJ. I think that a lot of times, if you had that conversation and you just you make that customer realize a lot more than they know after 5 minutes on YouTube. Hey, you could be missing a leg of voltage from your circuit breaker. You could have a bad thermal fuse. You could have a bad control board. You could even have a bad motor. A lot of times it's not a big deal. We just need to get out there and find out which part it is. And I promise you, if it's a common stock item, I'm going to get you up and running as quick as possible. But most importantly, I need to help you make sure it's even worth fixing. Let's just get out there. And they may be like, okay, EJ, yeah, all right, come on out. But how can you get an office person to be that way? That's going to be really tricky. And so for those guys that are a small operation and you've got the mojo and you've got the answers, I encourage you to record them into your phone because you're so busy, and have someone else translate it and get it on paper. And then when you're growing your business and hiring people, give them the script. Give them these the answer to this question, because you want to have an extension of mini yous, and they're going to have to figure it out on their own time, and it's going to take them 5 years, or it's never going to come, and you're going to have to fix all those mistakes that happen. So the best training manual ever. So is it Mr. Bong, or do we call him Dirty, like as his first name? Do you know Dirty Bong?
I don't know Dirty Bong. I don't know if I know him.
Oh, okay.
I've not met him, and he said, "Hey, my name's Dirty." Mr. Bong, if we're professional. Come
to ASTI. Come to ASTI and let me know. Do I call you Dirty or Mr. Bong? I need to know. So
or is it Joe? Joe from Mr. Appliance. I don't know. Sorry, Mr. Appliance. I didn't mean it to be you.
That's right.
It popped in my head. All of your brand recognition. Dirty Bong he's rolling, man. Maybe it's not a he. Maybe Dirty Bong's.
Why would I assume that? Damn, I am so old that I make these assumptions. Totally right.
Some women like Dirty Bongs, and you don't get to choose your birth name.
That's it.
So, continuing with each interaction, right? And we're getting ready to wrap up, but I want to get this part out of it, right? Consistency is key.
Yep.
You can pay as much money as you want and have the best advertisements, the best commercial, the best, most professional website, and you might even pay the best CSR.
Mm-hmm.
And they just, wow, you got them on the hook. You still got a real man. And yeah, it's a dirty DB if you for short. Ponytail, but he's a guy.
Okay.
So
All right, DB.
people wonder, but he's got all right. Uh, are you maintaining the same expectation level through each chain of interactions?
Yeah.
And what are these interactions, right? Uh, well, the phone call, okay. The appointment. Did you get a text or a call confirming your appointment time and your time frame? Did somebody let you know that they're on their way? When they show up, when your texts show up, do they know immediately that it's who you said you were? Is your van decal? The person that walks up to the door, do they look clean and professional?
Sure.
Or at least consistent to the level of expectations you provided them?
Yeah.
Are they a slob? Are they friendly? Did they smile whether they wanted to or not when your dog's barking at the door and you finally open it after waiting 5 minutes? Because even though you knew we was on the way, you still didn't put the dogs up. Are you presenting all of these steps? And that's just to get to the house.
Yep.
You didn't even walked in yet. Every step along the way is another opportunity to maintain, another obligation to maintain the expectation, but another opportunity to overproduce.
So it's the big C word. It's consistency. Being consistent with what you promise or you lay out as expectations. And I think as human beings, it's fair to say that we all are on the strikeout method. It's just a matter of how many strikes a customer gives that company or service. When you're at the restaurant, at some point, you're counting strikes. You don't realize it. And when that final strike hits, it hits you in a way that you're like, I'm done here. I'm not tipping those people. Or I'm leaving. I'm walking out. I'm not eating here. I'm done. As an organization, you might be oblivious, like, what? The meal's 5 minutes late, but they don't realize all the strikes that happened before it. So think of it this way. Like if you tell the customer that you're going to call when you're on your way and you just show up, just assume it might be a strike against you. You show up in an unmarked vehicle and they're feeling a little nervous. Strike two. You put your cigarette out right at the front door and you kind of flick it in the yard somewhere and you just smell like smoke and they're not smokers. Strike three. How many strikes do you get? And the problem is early on when they called in and said, I'm pretty sure it's a heat element, make sure you bring the heat element. And finally, I have to order that element. Strike five, you're done. I hate you. I'll accept your work, but I'm not going to like you. And you just don't know you're being judged so harshly, right?
Yeah. And you could solve every problem they have.
Yeah.
And then you get a two or 3 star review because you don't even know. Yeah. You don't know what you did. That's some good points, man. And
yeah,
I don't think that deep all the time because you get caught up in the day to day. Just accomplish the task.
Yeah.
And you don't think about that, man. There's a lot of psychology in this job. Like it's people. This is a people business. We solve problems by fixing things.
Yep.
But it's people interactions. Like don't underestimate that. Like Dirty Bong, the guy with the ponytail, was saying. He hired a trainee from the restaurant industry and looked great. Sounded like a robot. And Kelly's got one that's a slob. Might be an excellent tech. Probably worth saving.
Yeah.
Heck, they might be a regular person, super friendly, everybody loves them and don't know how to fix a thing, right? Finding the whole package is hard, but it's all psychology. You're dealing with customers that pay you, and they all have different expectations, but each step of the way on this first impressions, I mean, it's several chain links into this first impression. And you even so far as went as the entire job, the whole first job, start to finish, including the call for an issue afterwards. It's still part of the first impression. How are you going to handle each situation? But you have that opportunity to set the expectation level by communicating and being consistent and perform every step.
For some of us, if this gets overwhelming for some people, just go, come on. I fix appliances. I'm kind. I'm professional. I don't want to be a therapist. I don't want to be a psychiatrist. I don't want to have to read people's minds. You got to at some point, to some level. You can't ignore easy red flags. And so I hope as people are developing their technical ability and their customer skills that they recognize those red flags, and I don't mean to, it's not racism, but, judge people and put them in categories, but literally like your guy with your 1 star, I've met that guy at least 15 times in the last 20 years. For sure I have. And I know exactly what the 3 things he might say in response to whatever you decide to reply to. It's a reality, and it makes our job a little bit easier. It helps us be consistent if we can imagine what they might be saying. By the way, I think I'd love to see Dirty Bong. I'm not part of the Appliance Alliance leadership, but I am personally inviting you to come on, because what I love about the Appliance Alliance community is it is a community and that we get to know each other and anybody. But now I'm very interested in a guy with a ponytail that likes to emphasize, that's called himself Dirty Bung. I would love for him to come on, share who he is, share a story a little bit, and just let us get a chance to know you. So throwing that out there, EJ.
I approve this message.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So we're over the hour.
Okay.
It's been a great talk, man. I know we covered a lot of hard stuff, dealing with the negativity, but it's the stuff we all go through. And hopefully you've been encouraged to do some things, at least get some ideas. That's how this works. Me and Doug are in 2 completely different parts of the state, 2 different accents. See how I accent? We do things different down here than he does up there. You can learn something. Y'all share. You never know where you're going to get any info from, even a Yankee like Doug. Well, we got some. All right. Saul, you're not coming to Las Vegas or Louisville? What's that?
It's got to be Louisville.
LV's not Louisville, but that's Las Vegas. All right, he's gonna send me some swag. Regrets on my YouTube handle from 10 years ago. Hey, you can
we love
that
it.
Dirty. Don't apologize for your birth name.
No.
All right, so go out there, do something, share with everybody what you've learned. Be open to hearing from other people, even if they have a country accent or they're a Yankee. You don't like being called a Yankee because you're a Mets fan, right?
Not today. I'm not a Mets fan. Those guys choked. So
y'all have a good week. We'll see you.
All right. Bye, EJ. Thanks, guys.